first thing I want to do is to get my seat post into my frame. This will allow me to hold my bike in my bike stand so I can put it together. So I use assembly grease, Fenwick's assembly grease for putting things together. Stops water from getting into places where it shouldn't. So first thing we need to do is open up that seat clamp. Find that Allen key here. Sorry, it's from, oh, let's find it. Find that Allen key here. Listen to that. So stop it. I actually like putting it in here rather than on the seat post, because if you put it on the seat post and push it in, it comes up everywhere, it just gets destroyed. If you put it in here first, it'll actually, the seat post will push it down. Whatever access you have, you can put here. And they push it in as far as past the minimum insertion limit. Slipping it for now. Obviously the height is not set. Now I can get this on my bike stand, so I can work on the bike a lot more. Okay, so now that I have the bike on the stand, the seat post in, I think I might just stick in the saddle just to have it done. I don't need to do it now, but I think I'll do it just to have it done. That's it. Completely. Some you don't, some you can manage to squeeze in if you just loosen it enough. And this one here seems to want to even take it off completely. Put the clamp up over your rails so that it's laying on your rails like this. Then put the rails sitting on top. Bolts, again, not too tight for now. We're just gonna get it in a position where it's just holding it. Obviously we'll be setting this up with much more detail now the whole bike built and getting the fit. Right, so that's just sitting there. I'm gonna try to get the headset in now. So the headset, how it works, this obviously goes straight here. Sides down there, position there. You have your washers. You have your top with a seal that stops water getting into it. Open with a nice little rubber seal. If you can see it there. You don't have to force that too much. You could actually slice the rubber over it. Just give it a wee twist and it should go in. It's very tight. I haven't experienced one being this tight before. I suppose it'll just have to eliminate dirt getting down into your head tube. Well, the amount of force I had there, normally I shouldn't be able to let this go. It should fall down, but because of the amount of friction from the hub. It's actually able to hold that up for me for the moment. So then you get your spacers, pop your spacers on. Again, very bling out there for this. We'd swap them out. Open up your stem, so this should fit down. So you get your stand down in position. Okay. Again, I do not like these. I didn't realize they were so bling. So, yeah, okay. So make sure that is up as far as it will go. And also, this is down as far as it will go. Because this is very important. We're going to have to cut this part off. Now I know I have the other jobs that around, but it shouldn't matter. So we have to mark this wherever it's completed, okay? So I'm just going to use a bit of a standy blade just to put a mark into the carbon. Don't worry, you'll be cutting it off anyway. Oh. Careful not to damage your stand though. Okay, so now you have your mark. We have to cut this now 2mm below that if it was a normal aluminium stem, but because I'm using a plug, this plug has a flange on it which sits again on top of this, and so this brings it up another nearly 2mm. So from this mark, the top of this has to be 2mm below your stem, so your cap is able to give a pull on it. So that means I have to go 4mm below this mark cut. If you're doing something like this, you need the proper equipment. I do have a steerer clamp and carbon hacksaw, so this will make the job easy. Okay, so now we have our mark. We gotta cut it. So I've found the mark that I made while it was in the frame. Measure 4mm back approximately, and I give it a mark. Okay. It doesn't have to be exact. Within half a mil, even a mil, will be close enough. And then have my tool for cutting the fork. It's like a vice that holds it in place. As I turn this goes down. As I turn this, it goes down and clamps the fork steerer in place. Then when it's held, there's a slot here where I can put in my hacksaw. I know I'm cutting straight because it's wide enough just for the hacksaw blade. If I cut straight through there, I know I'm cutting straight. So let's get this on. Find the slot, find the mark. Make sure the mark is on this side of the thing. If I have the slot this side, that means I'm cutting further down. You have to allow for the width of the blade. So I always have the mark just on this face. And then tighten her up. If you're not sure, always leave a little bit on. But I always say you can always take more off, but you can't put more on. Little clamp, you don't need to tighten that too much. You squeeze the carbon, and that is not going anywhere. Now we have to put this into a vise. When you're cutting carbon, always make sure you use a proper carbon blade. Just don't use a normal hacksaw blade. This is specifically designed for cutting carbon. So if you use a normal carbon blade or a normal hacksaw blade, then you could end up taking chunks out of it. Just take it easy. Don't need to press down too hard. Let the blade do the work. You get there eventually. No rush. Voila. Perfect. Straight. Smooth cut. Okay, so now we have that cut. Trying to put the headset in. And it's worth noting that when I cut that, it looks crooked. Definitely looks crooked. Don't know why. It shouldn't be. I had it in proper clamp. Or maybe it's the weave that makes it look like that. So I put in my cap, and it's actually perfect. Okay, and any wee problems you may have with it, the top cap will actually hide it. Will actually sort them all out because it's got a flat top on it. They said top cap, I meant compression plug. So here we go again. Try with this. Make sure everything's clean. You then get a 6mm Allen key and then just give it a nip. This opens up the compression plug inside, so whenever you tighten the cap onto your stem, the plug won't pull out, so it'll actually pull on your fork instead of pulling out of the fork. Okay, it's known as tensioning the fork. Now, when you do this, try to get this in the right position too. It doesn't really have to be done fully now, but it's no harm. Okay. Say, don't pull that too hard. A little nip. Right, that just pulls that off. So then you are tensioned. This feels nice. But to make sure that the stem doesn't come off, you don't rely on the cap, rely on these bolts. Okay? So as I said, now we need to tighten these bolts, but because we're using a carbon fork, we have to be very careful that we don't over tighten it and crush the carbon fork. The compression plug will help with that, but still don't want to damage it, okay? So you need a maximum of 5 Newton meters on each bolt. And it should go nowhere, and at the same time it will not crush the bolt. So I use the power tool here. It's not too good for these small adjustments, but we'll do the trick as well. That's all I have. So. So I put one on in here. And the way it doesn't work is actually you bolt onto the bolt. So tighten this up. Don't just tighten it all the way up at one side. Get the top and bottom at different times. Don't tighten all the top and then just tighten all the bottom. Right, so there you have it. You're all nailed. That's it for now. Next up is our handlebars. Just this one for now. Again, shouldn't matter too much. We're going to put this from the plate. Pop some of this in here. Let's see. For now, I'm just gonna zero it up to the center. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure I'm gonna be adjusting it, and I'm not gonna go too tight on these. For the same reason, I'm going to be opening them and adjusting them later. Let's see what you look like for now, you man. Get your handlebars on. I'd say that's too high for me, so I'll worry about that. But it's coming good. That is the frame for now. I think now I have to build my wheels. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build my wheels now, and you can have a look and see how I do that. It's not too hard actually.